Now here we are. You can see the main board I used here. Because of the use of matrix mode, you can see there is no any antenna for the receiver. And here you can see the general setup for the total gearbox. You can see a gearbox with two motors to drive two booms independently. And you can see the winding mechanism through the ballpoint pin. And now we can check the working principle behind the lower boom. You can see the lower boom is directly fixed to the main gearbox. You can see here the boom is coming towards down, and it is pasted to a big gear directly to the main gearbox. Here you can see here, and it is a big one to generate great torque. And you can see the attachment through a piece of foam board, and now it's working nicely. You can see here when I choose the radio, the motor starts to rotate, and the gear attached to the main gearbox also operate the lower boom. There is no any miracle in this design. It is very basic and very simple, ever simplest. You can make anything with this idea. And rotation of the main turret assembly is carried out to the second gearbox. You can see here, and it is the same gearbox as we attached it to the lower boom, and the main big gear is attached to the platform through 3 circuits taken from foam board. And you can see it's working nicely here when I trigger the RC. Now time to check the working of upper boom. You can see a fishing line here passing through some guides, and it's guided to the main gearbox. Here you can see the shaft, milled shaft, a shaft with milling here, and the fishing line is firmly attached to the milling by aid of super glue, and it is guided through the body of ballpoint pin to a brass rod. And you can see here, it is simply here, and can see here the setup for the boom actuator. You can see now the fishing line is under tension as the gearbox starts to turn, and you can see it's a simple mechanism winding the fishing line. And you can see the movement of the fishing line here is up and down, and it passes through the ballpoint pen, and it pushes out the brass rod accordingly. So the boom is simply actuated here. You can see here, and the reversing action is done by some hidden springs taken out from door opening mechanism of a tape recorder. So here again you can see the winding mechanism working nicely, and there is no any complicated mechanisms is used here. Now time to check the manipulator. You can see here working nicely, and you can see the brass rod working, actuating through the ballpoint refill tube, and you can see the fishing line passing through here. Here you can see it. Here you can see simply the fishing line. Now it's clear, and it is passing through inside the boom to the second gearbox. You can see here the line is passing through and through the guide. Now it's time to check out. You can see the same mechanism I shown just before. You can see it's winding nicely, and the fishing line is under tension as it winds. You can see here nothing is complicated. Yeah, you can see the simple mechanism, and the fishing line actuating the brass rod, and the brass rod act as a piston. So it is working nicely. You can see here it's much simpler than we imagined. And finally, about the final driving system, you can see it's simple as my earlier setup. You can see a thrust pump here. The main gear is for the thrust pump came from a takeoff wheel from an old VCR, and you can see the main gearbox. It's working nicely, and you can see a radio board with 3 relays. It's also matrix sizes, so there is no antenna. This pump controls the reworked motor driving the thrust pump nicely, and you can also see the main gearbox and battery pack here. There's nothing is complicated. Each and everything is related to this craft is far simple as